right, hello and welcome to another Expert Inside interview. My name is John Golden from Sales Pop, online sales magazine, and Pipeliner CRM, joining you as usual from a sunny San Diego. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Wes Schaefer, who's just up the road in Marietta, in an equally sunny Marietta, I'm sure.
We got some Santa Anas. Did you get the Santa Anas down there?
Oh yeah. The wind
Yeah,
is blowing up now.
yeah.
Yeah. So we should be looking at hopefully every time we get to Santana, somebody's fence goes.
Oh yeah.
Just hoping it's not
or
mine.
pool umbrellas.
Exactly. Yeah. And Wes is the business fixer. He sees the message you want to convey, but can't find the words, and he gives them to you because if you don't toot your own horn, there's no music. Brown belt in jiu-jitsu, president of his HOA, and Air Force veteran, father of 7, grandfather of 3. Also written a few books, spoken around the world, over 700 podcasts, but that's all mildly interesting. The only part that's really interesting of the bio is he was once duct taped to a bar in Korea. So that's what we're going to talk about today is things that happen you when you're in bars in Korea. No, we're not.
Thank
Yeah.
God that was before social media, but I do have pictures.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But the thing is, at least you can control the distribution of those pictures.
Yeah.
No, what we're actually going to talk about today is the 5 proven steps to make every sale. I mean, Wes, it's fair to say there's been so many changes in buyer behavior in the whole sales landscape. It was changing pre-COVID anyway, because of, we had inbound and then we had, people, thinking that buyers had so much information, but then buyers are overloaded with information. And then obviously we had COVID, which brought a whole new raft of issues. And now we have AI thrown into the mix as well. So a lot of changes. So your 5 proven steps, how have they evolved or adapted to all of the changes that we've seen?
Well, fortunately, they are timeless.
Mhm.
um, Doing this for long enough, when you're new at something, it's fun to test things, try things, be creative. But like years ago, 2004, actually, I switched to using an Apple computer
Mhm.
because I was tired of rebooting. I was tired of messing with the MS config and getting in and deleting things. I'm like, I just need something that works. I need a tool. I need a
Yeah.
tool. When I hit on, it comes on. When I hit off, it goes off, and it runs in between without interruption.
Mhm.
And so the same thing with sales, right? Because I've looked at this over the years, and I've always been in sales since I got out of the Air Force in '97. And yes, I mean, you gave a good synopsis that things have changed, how the buyer interacts with the salesperson has changed. The internet, social media gives the buyer great access to a wealth of information, and they
Mhm.
may be better informed and more knowledgeable on one item in your
Mhm.
tool bag than you are as the salesperson.
Right.
So so in the past they would be they'd have paralysis by analysis
Yep.
because they didn't have enough to analyze. Now it's paralysis by analysis because they have too much. So
Yep.
now our role is to give them the confidence that they're making the right decision.
Yeah.
And so, these 5 proven steps, I've looked at, I've worked with pipelines and I've worked with funnels and I've worked with all of the major and many of the smaller tech tools like salesforce.com,
Mhm.
HubSpot, things like that. And so pipelines are fine. Funnels are fine. They are good tools within the ecosystem to analyze the stages
Mhm.
of your contacts and to qualify them, so you can have something discernible, something objective
Right.
as a company to say where are these prospects, where are they, so you can start doing some forecasting and planning and whatnot. But those are, I think, small cogs within the bigger machine of
Mhm.
what I call the ABCDEs of selling. And so a pipeline is unidirectional, right?
Yep.
And you've heard that over the years. Throw enough crap against the wall, something's bound to stick. So
Yep.
we're like, or like stuff it. Things will fall out, and then
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
something comes out of the end. A
I
funnel.
call that, by the way, the feel good funnel, or you can say feel good pipeline, because if you stuff it with enough early stage stuff, it makes you feel good in the
Yes,
moment, even though most of that stuff is going to drop out.
yes. And a funnel is the same thing.
Mhm.
It's just vertical instead of
Yeah.
horizontal, but it's still one direction. And so my ABCDE is a circle. You remember the old the water, water cycle or cycle of life or whatever, where the snow it snows on the mountain,
Oh
then it
yeah, yeah.
melts and it runs down the rivers into the lakes, and some evaporates, some gets to
Mhm.
the ocean, it evaporates there, and it's that water cycle, right? It's
Yep.
always conserved, it's always looping. So that's what ABCD is, right? So think of it as a circle, it's going around the clock,
Mhm.
and so speaking of Apple, I've got 7 kids, right? 3 grandkids, although grandkids are too small to have any technology. But my whole family, 7 kids, 4 have graduated college, 1 is in college, 1's in high school, and I got a 10-year-old. We all have Apple stuff, Apple
Mhm.
Watches, iPads, iMacs, MacBook Pros,
Yep.
iPhones, AirPods, Apple Pencils. Apple understands that life cycle, get them coming back.
Yep.
So a professional thinks, not how do I make this sale? They think, how can I make 5 sales to this
Mhm.
person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How can I get testimonials and referrals from this person? So for sure, when one big opportunity comes up, work the stages.
Mhm.
Okay. But that's assuming you've done the first part, which is you've attracted them to you.
Yep.
You've run an ad. You had a booth at a trade show. You cold called them. You did direct mail. You did something to get in front of them and make them aware of you.
Yep.
Okay. Now you bond with them. Multimedia, multi-step.
Yes.
Okay. And again, direct mail, phone calls. I'll mail people a copy of my book, mail them a postcard. I mail them a book from somebody on my podcast.
Mhm.
I will email them. I will text message them. I will engage on social media, whatever it takes. I send a lot of video.
Right.
I've used Bonjoro and BombBomb over the years.
Mhm.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn's kind of kludgy. You gotta record the video, then upload it. Send it, but it stands out, and it's a real video,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, there is, and I think you're right, and I think all those things are it's that personal touch, it's the authenticity, it's the connection, it's the curiosity, as in doing your homework
Yes,
and being able to translate that or transmit that to the other person that yeah, am really interested in what's going on with you.
yes. And people just want to be seen and heard and
Mhm.
understood.
Yep.
Okay. From the lowest level, from the receptionist, okay, from the janitor, all the way to the CEO. They we don't feel seen and heard and
Mhm.
understood. I did a book review on my podcast years ago on a book called Deep Survival.
Mhm.
And it was, why do some people live and some people don't? And the guy saw, looking at the data, like young children would get lost in the woods and survive days. No
Mhm.
training, no gear. They would crawl into like a nook of a tree, just stay warm, conserve their energy, and be found.
Mhm.
Experienced people, they'd find them dead in 48 hours.
Right.
And they had all the gear. And the reason that he surmised that he came up with was that these people would panic and they would fear that they would never be seen or heard from again.
Mm.
And they felt just this sense of dread, like I am nobody. Like literally, if a tree falls in the woods, does it make any sound,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
if I scream in the woods and nobody hears me, do I exist? And
Mhm.
they give up hope, right? So people need to know, and that's why like you'll see like they'll hold up these like a whiteboard and they'll wave and your name will be on it, right? John.
Yeah.
But if you've been in the game long enough, it's auto created.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, and so I don't do that. I'll just make a
Yeah.
real video. John, hey, thanks for connecting on LinkedIn. If you need any help with sales, whatever, CRMs, give me a call. I look forward to staying in touch with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah, and it's that authenticity, Wes. That's what people are really craving. They want to know you're authentic, and you're not even going to get your foot in the door if people as if you're going to do the things that you just talked about. Where it's like my favorite one is like where somebody personalizes an outreach on LinkedIn, and I think, oh yeah, they've really looked at me, they've understood, they personalize it, and the minute I accept the connection request, I get a an automated pop-up message with a sales pitch which completely just undercuts what they
Yeah.
did a few minutes ago. So it's that you don't if you're not authentic or you're going to be in a deficit very fast.
Yeah. And everybody says it. We're
Yeah.
authentic, we're transparent, we seek to serve and blah blah blah. We're customer centric. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, bumper stickers.
And then you get these screen scraped emails and
Yeah,
typos and like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling it.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Um,
So you bond, right? Multimedia, multi-step. And then, the midway point is the actual close, the customer, the cash transaction. Okay. And again, professionals understand that the sale is not the end goal.
yep.
And I tell people I equate it to getting engaged and getting married. Is the wedding the end goal?
No.
Or is the wedding really the beginning of the relationship?
Mhm. Yeah,
Right?
and I think that's a great, a great analogy because yeah, you can make this. So we're conditioned, the close the sale, everybody celebrates, it's fantastic, and it feels like a completion, right? Instead of it's the start of a journey, and like you said, ultimately it's the lifetime value of that customer that you should really be looking at, not just the one-off transaction.
Right. And that's why, so the midway point is the cash,
Hmm.
the close, the customer, the client. So, you can call it a conversion, but a lot of people confuse conversion with getting the lead to opt in on something.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. But, I call the conversion, them becoming a customer.
Yeah.
So now you have to delight them. Okay. Because everybody says, oh, we give great service after the sale.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I tell people that is not a differentiator.
No.
Nobody ever says we give horrible service
Yeah.
after the sale, right? And I don't know if you give good or bad service until after I buy from you.
Yeah.
So it's not a selling point.
No, but it's certainly how you operate after the sale is certainly going to impact whether it's a one-off
Yes,
sale or a long-term sale.
for sure. You have to act right. You have to delight them,
Mhm.
but saying you're going to do it. I mean, it's like dating. The guy telling the girl,
Mm.
"Oh no, I'm different. I'm not like all the other boys." Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
until I show that I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, no, it's a fascinating one because, we at our company took a a, um, a decision, like a deliberate decision that we would have our customer support would be human based, number 1. We would be happy when people reached out to us as opposed to let's close this ticket as fast as we can.
Mm.
It's like, yes, let's solve the problem you have, but let's use this opportunity to also to maybe give you some advice, some pointers, find out about other things. So create value in the even in the customer service interactions.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to prove you're different, right? And
Yep.
I'm shocked, I'm saddened, I'm irritated at the number of companies that just route you through a machine.
Oh,
Hi, thank you for calling. Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line as our menu has changed. The
yeah.
menu must have changed every single day for the last 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And plus they're going to record it for quality
Yes,
assurance.
your
Yeah.
call may be recorded for quality and training purposes, right? And so then you gotta listen to the menu and look, I just had this. If I'm on speaker, I can't get through. I've
Hmm.
got to take it off speaker, because their system won't pick it up. And I got disconnected twice. And this was calling USAA. Right? I've been with USAA since 1988,
Mm,
and a human can't answer the phone, and they disconnect on me twice. Right? I'm like,
yeah.
how is it that expensive to have a human answer the phone?
Yeah, and
People don't
it's
do it.
not. Yeah. Yeah,
And
no, it's
so
not, and it's we flip that around, the idea of, okay, now, Mr. Customer, I'm going to make it as hard as possible for you to connect with the human being because that
Yeah.
doesn't suit me. And we've got to get away from this stupid like using ourselves as the point of reference. It's not about us; it's about them. We should be figuring out how to make it as easy because we're consumers ourselves. Like you said, I mean, you're calling USAA, so and then we go back into work and then we pretend that we don't have these experiences.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're different. They know
Yeah,
we're different. It's
yeah.
no, no, they don't. But I always tell people you prove you're different by being different.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
How you open your mouth, how you engage with the prospect, it matters.
Mhm.
And so, but people don't do it, right? But so you want to delight, you want to deliver this wow experience,
Mhm.
uh, under promise and over deliver. Okay, and when you do that, you will endear yourself to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, on
Absolutely.
every podcast interview, I talk about Apple. They don't pay me. It's just a great example. I'm happy with their product. After 20
Mhm.
years, I'm still
Yeah.
happy with their product. Yes, they charge more, and they have a small little menu at first, but I reach a human faster with Apple than with USAA, than with GoDaddy, with any of these others that I call on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And so I pay for that experience because people will pay for two things: experiences and for exclusivity.
Yep.
Okay. So if you create that wow experience, if they feel like this is premier treatment, that not everybody gets it,
Mhm.
they will stick with you, right? And so again, going with that circle, you go from 12 o'clock to whatever, 3 o'clock down to 5 o'clock. You convert over to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. You deliver, you delight, back up to 10. You've endeared. When you endear yourself, you're back to the attraction phase.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's just, you can put them back in a funnel, you can put them in a pipeline, whatever. So you can document, like, where are we? But
Yeah.
they go from endear, they're back to attract, they're already past bonding. They're
Yep.
almost to the conversion, the cash again, because you did the first 5 steps well the first time. Stephen Covey, right? You begin with the end in mind.
Mhm.
It's like, not how do I close this person? It's like, how
Yeah.
do I endear myself to this person? So now I get referrals and testimonials and repeat orders, and it just gets faster and
Yeah.
easier. And
And it's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? I mean, if you've sold them something that brings value to them, you've delighted them in the experience, they're using it, it's meeting their needs, you're surprising them with how great you are as a company to work with. Then obviously you're going to entertain me when I say here's something else that I think you might be interested in, or maybe there's another department in your organization that could benefit from this. You're more likely all of those things because of that bonding, the bonding relationship, and delighting delivering.
yes, that's it.
That's it. And the thing is, Wes, I mean, this is clearly rocket science, right? I mean, it's like treat treat your prospects and your customers like the rare commodity that they really are,
Yeah,
the precious commodity that they are. And let's face it, if somebody's going to spend money with you, you should want them to think that they got even more than value for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, don't overcomplicate this thing. And so you were asking, like, how did it change with COVID
Yeah.
and whatnot? And of course, how we reach people has changed a little bit.
Sure.
But what it's really gone back to old school,
Yeah.
direct mail. That's really never gone out of style. It's
Hmm.
never stopped being effective. Yes, it's more expensive than just spamming and getting an Apollo or Insightly account and just buying lists and
Sure.
cold emailing, but that's dying. It maybe not dying, but it's getting harder. It's a diminishing returns because everybody
Mhm.
hopped on it.
Yeah.
Uh, and I got a little dash in my name on LinkedIn, that I put on purpose. And so when I get messages that say "Hi West Dash," I know it's scraped. I,
Ha!
I
That's great.
delete I delete 90 to 95% of those without even reading. Sometimes they'll catch me at the right time and I might
Uh,
read it. And 0.0001% of the time, I'll open it and engage.
Yeah.
But if somebody mails me something, well,
Yeah.
hey, speaking of Apple, I got this sitting on my desk. We've got the Apple credit card, and
Oh,
mine mine expired. I didn't even know it, right? And it's this nice thick metal card. My wife loves it, right?
mhm.
But they mail me this nice thing, in cardboard, and they give you a little cardboard thing with postage prepaid to return your card so they can recycle it because it's metal. So I'm
Oh,
not too worried about that, right?
yeah.
But it's so simple, right? It's got a little thing there. Just touch your phone, boom, and it activates the card.
Wow.
Like, so simple,
Yeah.
right? But a
Well,
little direct mail to make it simple.
yeah, that's almost like they're trying to make our lives easy. I don't know. That's Apple. It's almost like they understand that people want convenience.
Well, I mean, the whole story with the phone, right? They
Yeah.
did no market research.
Mhm.
They just all had phones and they go, "This is a crappy experience. How can we?" It's like everybody has a phone despite this crappy experience. How do we make this better? Boom.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, Wes, this has been fascinating. All of Wes's information is going to be below this video. But before we go, please do tell people a little bit more about what you do.
So I help people sell mo better. Um, I help people think in terms of sequences and cadences and specifics, right? Stages. Um, from the very beginning to the very end, right? That entire life cycle. And I help you with the tools that you have. Pipeliner, maybe you have landing page software,
Mhm.
you've got chat software, whatever. I help you think through this life cycle and how best to engage with the prospects that are coming to you, so you can stack the odds in your favor. It's the old adage, if you can we must enter the conversation going on in the mind of the prospect,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? And I always get it mixed up if it's Robert Collier or Ogilvy. I think it's Collier. So that's it, right? Enter the conversation going on in the mind of the prospect. And if you can do that, I don't want to overcome objections. I want to
Mhm.
anticipate them and address them and negate them
Mhm.
before they ever come up. So then you can just have a conversation and then you can both decide, is it in everyone's best interest to work together?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I help folks do.
Yeah, excellent. No, we agree. We believe in the win-win. That's what you should always be looking for. It should always be a win-win scenario at the end of the day. So listen, thanks again, Wes. Thank you for watching, listening. See you all again very soon. Thank you.